This is KUGAN CASSIUS for Rifle TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella with the Matchroom HQ here in Brentwood. With me, I've got WBA Super Bantamweight Champion Scott Quigg. How are you, Scott?
I'm good.
Well, interesting day. Your promoter Eddie Hearn, yourself and your lawyer have gone on to live television, Sky Sports News, to make a public offer of 1.5 million to Carl Frampton to have this fight on July 18th in Manchester. And that's 1.5 million to Carl Frampton.
Yep.
Okay. Obviously, this offer today, and to make it public, has been discussed, and you felt, along with Eddie, that you have to do something like this to get this fight made.
Yeah. I think we, teams have been talking, and it was going nowhere. And I said to Eddie, something needs to be done now. We either get this fight made, or we move on, because I want a date and I want to get ready to go into a camp. So we come up with this and an offer that's, I don't see how they can turn it down.
They have sent a press release out
literally
moments after that interview went live with Sky.
Yep.
And it seems to have said about a possible co-promotion.
Yeah, listen, it's a lot of nonsense, to be honest with you. As I stated, co-promote, they could co-promote. It doesn't make any difference. Thing is that I want the fight. There's nothing more we can do. We put an offer out there now, and it's, like I say, when I last watched it gets boring talking about it, but now it's just, as I said, there's been a reply about something about a co-promotion or whatever.
And further negotiations, which Eddie Hearn stated is not interested in having. The offer is there, the date is there, and it's the money side of it is all coming from Matchroom Sky Sports.
Yeah, we're bringing all the money. Listen, I just want the fight. I went to Belfast when he fought last. He called me out in the ring, and I just want the fight. It doesn't matter where it is, what it is, whatever. We've come out with this offer, and it's just about, after that, I want this fight, because he called me out, let's fight. This is a massive fight. I said before, there's two super fights in Britain. Kell Brook and Amir Khan, and Scott Quigg against Carl Frampton. It's not often you get two. We're fortunate to have each other at the same time in our career. There's many times where fighters don't get that rivalry, or they get that other opponent in the same division where you can have a massive fight. We're lucky we've got that, and I think the fans want it. I want it. I genuinely believe Carl wants it, so there's no reason why it shouldn't happen. But we'll find out now if Carl really wants it, because you don't turn that sort of money down.
Just to make it clear again, obviously that's a 1.5 million guaranteed purse for Carl Frampton. Your purse is, if it is to go ahead, this fight, it would be unknown. It would be dependent on.
I could end up with 200 grand, 300 grand. I could end up with 1.5 mil. It all depends.
You're willing to take that risk, though.
Yeah, it all depends on what we think. It's a massive fight. The reception, and everybody wants to see it, so that's what we're going off. But if it was a pay-per-view flop, then you
lose that. Frampton would still get 1.5 million.
Get 1.5 million, which don't bother me as long as we get the fight on, and I'll be happy with the win.
Obviously, Eddie Hearn stated that he wants to get you out July 18th.
Yeah.
Frampton firmly in mind, but have you discussed potential other opponents for July 18th if there is no positive feedback from this offer?
Briefly today, but other than that, we'll sit down, because I want big fights. I want these. I don't think there's no bigger fight in the division than me and Frampton. I generally believe that's the biggest fight in the division for profile-wise, publicity, and obviously potentially money-wise. So that's the fight. It's been built. It was been building since I was British champion, and he was Commonwealth champion, and it's just been bubbling and bubbling and bubbling, and now I think it's perfect timing.
When have you discussed the final deadline for this? I mean, Eddie said by the end of the week if it's not. Do you know what I mean?
We need some positive response from them, and then obviously you'll have your little nitty gritty things, you know, that need nailing out. But if we get positive feedback, then obviously the fight can happen. Then it don't have to be by the end of this week. Well, we want to know whether you want the fight. If you want to make this fight, we can make this fight for July the 18th. Then we make the fight. But if there's no response and there's nothing that signals that they really want the fight, then we go.
You believe come Saturday morning you'll know either way if you're fighting Frampton on July 18th or not?
Yeah, because like, as I said, it don't have to be signed, sealed.
Yeah, of course, no.
But we want to know, this fight's going ahead, and obviously whether we need to iron a few little minor things that don't even interest me or whatever. It's just about getting it done. And once we know they want the fight and we want to move, they want to go with a deal or whatever, then it doesn't have to be signed, but we need positive feedback.
Do you feel as though if this fight isn't to happen this way with this offer, July 18th, Manchester, if it doesn't happen, we won't see this fight? Do you think that?
I don't. Depending on, we've had the response, they want a co-promotion, so at the minute, don't matter, the money on the table means nothing apparently because they want it to be co-promoted. So now this is where, if I were Carl, I'd be going, whoa, I want that fight. It's a lot of money. I believe I can beat him. I want that fight. So now, if they was to return the offer with that deal, I'd be going, Eddie, I'm fighting him on that date.
On their promotion. Yeah.
On their promotion.
Yeah. Well, it's a waiting game now, I suppose. It's Tuesday today, and
it is a waiting game. But I mean, I'm not waiting on it. Obviously, realistically, it's a waiting game now to see what their response is. But I'll be in the gym tomorrow. I'll be training. I'll be in the gym tonight. I'm not waiting about. I'm getting myself prepared for whoever is in that ring on July the 18th. Hopefully, it's going to be Frampton. If not, whoever it is, I'm going to be ready for.
I know there was obviously mention of Rigonda, etc. in the little the media talk there, but until this is one way or another decided whether this fight will go ahead, it's probably difficult for you to sort of then start contemplating opponents. So, yeah.
In my mind, I'm still thinking this fight will happen. So as soon as we know one way or the other, then we'll sit down. And as I've said, I just want big fights. Just finally, is there a possibility that this kind of public offer may have pushed the fight further away or not? You make choices. You have two choices in life, don't you? You can two paths. This might have done, but if we didn't do it, the fight still weren't close anyway. So it's
no lose situation.
Yeah. Whether it's pushed it further away or it's not, or we get, we can start brings it so we start talking more now. Then, but listen, it's done now, isn't it? Absolutely. All right. Well, listen, we've sent a press release, but we'll see what develops during the week. And from a British boxing fan, obviously everyone wants to see the fight. So let's hope something can be done and reached and agreed. I'll be fighting July the 18th in Manchester. Scott Quigg, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. No, thank you.